Okay, 2-2-1-6, good luck. So we've not played before, we have no head-to-head score. His opponent left the game straight away. Was definitely connected and left, but there's nothing wrong with the internet connection. That seems odd. Big rating gap as well, 2200 from only 50 games. 1870 blitz from 380 and only 1500 in bullet from 30. Most players you tend to find ratings, as long as you played enough games, they tend to be broadly similar. It's unusual to see big rating gaps like that. Okay, we're just going to charge the center and get castled. Okay, so we want the bishop into play. Where do we want to go? I'm just looking at f4, then maybe dropping back, assuming knight goes out wide. Although we've got the pawn to deal with, haven't we, when the bishop comes up, but I think I'll probably push, but we don't have to. I think I'm just going to develop. I might play a slow move like queen up just to guard. Let's play queen up for now, connect the rooks. Yeah, knight has indeed gone out wide. Now I could actually drop back here and guard the pawn this way. We threaten to move the knight and take, or we can just come back here, allow takes, and our king gets a natural square. I quite like knights myself. Yeah, I'm going to do it that way. And I want to try and get the rooks kind of centered. Now this is where I've got a choice. We can go forward and invite a move like f5, or we can take and try and open it a little bit more. I think on this occasion I might take. Should I? If I go here, I try and restrict the bishop, but f5 is going to be coming. Yeah, I'm going to take. Trust my instincts. Try and get the rook across. So we'll bring the rook across into the center. If knight takes, I'll just take with a bishop. I guess I could go with a pawn, but the bishop feels more natural. We've always got the opportunity to push and trade the light squared bishop. Okay, queen's come up targeting my pawn, so that does give me knight forward. If the bishop trades, I think I'd be quite happy with that. So I'm just going to go forward without burning all my time. Okay, takes. I'm actually going to go with a c pawn. Could have gone with the e pawn and gone a bit more symmetrical, because we know we're going to get a move like f5 coming reasonably quick, but we've got a target here to aim at. Okay, this pawn's going to be lost, and if one gets lost, the other might get lost, of course. Knight takes, I can take. It's easier to trade these knights in this position now that this bishop's gone as well. So we could potentially trade the knight, bishop to f3, something like that. If knight takes, I'll probably go here. So he goes across. So I'm assuming I should take and go here then. I don't think that bishop's doing a great deal to attack. So I'm going to get rid of that knight. I just have to watch this, don't I? But now have I got bishop up, kick the rook, and I can take, but I do lose this pawn. So just for now, for one move. Oh, hold on. I lose this one as well, don't I? I lose that one as well. I don't particularly want to do that. So I could just play the simple pawn up then. If queen down, trading looks fine. Yeah, if queen comes down, I'm very happy to trade. A move like rook across, then we've still got this bishop threat, but our own pawn would be loose. So I want to try and get the rook across to guard the pawn. f3, you hang this pawn and you don't really want to move the f pawn if you can help it. So it just goes back. So I could play the bishop across and use the bishop to guard, I guess, but... No, I'm going to trust my instincts and go the rook across. Then I'd like to shuffle this rook across to pressure the pawn. Then we've still got this potential bishop up potential. Yeah, queen goes across, so bishop up now has been covered. But surely rook across must be a sensible move. Rook across, bishop down, say queen up. If you plant your bishop, I just go b4, I guess. So I'm going across just to put pressure on the pawn because we've still got a threat. And there's no immediate pressure on our e-pawn now. But obviously I can't go here now because the queen would simply take. Let's get our cursor off the board. Yeah, played f5 as expected. Okay, so I do still have bishop up. What you're going to do with that rook? Probably rook to e8. Queen takes, rook takes. Then say rook takes e4, rook takes, f takes e4. So you're probably going here, but if you go there, I still can't wangle away to go for the diagonal, can I? But I've got that move. I could just simply take first, but it opens the file. Here, if you go rook here, then I've got bishop upright. And there's no effective discovery to avoid losing it. So here, I don't think you've got rook takes. If you do queen takes, I can shift the bishop out the way, or I can just simply trade and allow this. And then rook up if you go with the rook. Let's take, because there is a potential to allow the diagonal. Only reason I've taken there. But the problem is bishop's going to come in with an open file. So it's going to be more difficult to defend. I might have to use a rook as a defensive piece, but at least it's on a light square. But not without a lot of risk this, thanks to this d4 square. But if the bishop gets here, at least we've got a pawn to challenge. It's gone with a queen. Okay, so I assume I just simply take now. If rook takes, I go here. If pawn takes, you've got a messed up structure. And I can still play a move like bishop up, I think. But the problem is, you can have the rooks like this and the bishop coming in, and that's really difficult to defend. So we could gain one pawn and lose a more valuable pawn. That could happen. Yeah, it's gone with the pawn, but now I'm assuming I want the bishop up then. And just try and simply grab a pawn. And it feels okay, doesn't it? So I'm going to play there and hit the rook and try and take here. And then hopefully at some point get the king on the light square and push the pawn at some point. Rook across, I think I simply trade and grab the pawn. Rook can come down, is covered. Check, and I've got an emergency square. Bishop down could be a problem. But it's my one chance to take the pawn. Take. Check. I mean, technically you can block, but you don't really want to, so you'd go here. But you still can't easily attack the pawn. Bishop. I guess I could just take this one and leave one. It's risky though, isn't it? Risky. What about just king across then? Get onto the light square now. Rook takes, but then you can defend right now. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take the pawn. I expect check and I'll go here. Oh, it doesn't do it. So I can go here and just pin the rook, right? And I've just gained a pawn then. Well, I think that should be good, because eventually I can break the pin, get my pawns on light squares. It should be good to get the rook off. I think the king will move to shuffle over, otherwise I get a tempo attacking the pawn. So I think the king will shuffle and I'll trade the rook and then play king f1, then f3, and try and keep my pawns on light squares and defend them if we can. Still far from easy to win this though. We're still, what is it? We're going to be a pawn up, but it doesn't mean we're necessarily winning. Yeah, the king has indeed come up. So we're just going to trade. Now I assume I still want bishop here to put pressure on this pawn. And if you push here, I simply take, right? So that looks good to me. Because you've got nothing to protect the pawn with. And if you push it, I can simply take. And now we attack another pawn. And I think we can just do something like this. So if I go here, so this pawn in turn can definitely move. Now I could just simply guard the pawn this way, but I can go like this. But here, I'm just going to go there for now so they protect each other, and I can try and run my king up to stop this king coming too far in. So let's come here, and I need to go to f3 just to take pressure off from the bishop. Maybe here first. Do I do that first? Then you've got this. Actually, what about here? No, here you just step forward, right? I don't really want the bishop next to this, because then... I'm not sure here, not sure. I'm just going to push up one square. Now I'm threatening a move like king up and then up. I'm trying to stop the king from running in, but equally from running this way as well. Not easy to do. Not easy to do. Now, I guess I can go here now and challenge that pawn. Here, bishop down, I simply step up, but I'm trying to do this. But that's a problem. And if I run my bishop away, I can never move without losing this pawn. But here, if I get a check, you have to go back. Yeah, I'm going to go here. There is this, but I think I can check and go here depending on exactly how black plays. That's what he's done, but I think I can go up first now. Here, you have to go back. Then here, this is on a dark square, but I'm just marching up, aren't I? So it feels good. Don't mean it is, but it feels like it is. I'm trying to drive the king back, and now bring my king up to guard. But there's that pesky dark squared bishop. But we are 2 pawns up, so if we can just even trade this outside pawn, it takes a lot of risk. We can just plant the pawn and leave them there forever, and the king or the bishop's got to stop them. So I am simply threatening a check, takes, give up a pawn, and we get rid of that risk. But king up looks strong, but there's no easy way for me to then make further progress either. But at least if I guard here, I'm then freeing up my bishop to get active like the black bishop is. I've just got the cursor off the board so there's no accidental slips there. I'm looking at a4 as well to try and eliminate one of these pawns on the left hand side. Keep it on the light square if I can do, but then maybe it's a bit easier for the king to get in. Could be the same for my own king, of course, to get across there, but if the pawn's on a dark square, it's easy for the bishop to guard. Yeah, he's gone across. So I assume I just want king up here. I don't think I need to think too much about that, do I? It's whether you do this and I allow it or not. Here, do I take a risk and push up and then try and come in? But I don't see how I actually get in, but I guess I've got bishop coming like this to hit the pawn. And I've still got this in reserve. So here, maybe I go here. And then try and chase the king away, even with a check. And then eventually try and push both pawns. Yeah, he's fixed them on dark squares. Okay. So I'm going here with a view to try and chase this king and to try and stop this move. But it's not easy to make any progress, is it though? That's a problem. That's a little bit of a problem. So let's go here now. It might be that black can just simply shuffle forever and there's nothing I can do. But maybe I can go here. Okay, well if I go here now, I'm not quite trapping you, am I? Here, no, you've got lots of options. So I might have to look at this idea. Takes. I don't see any way to actually make progress. Let's just bring the bishop back to make sure these are secure. I might try and run the king over here, then your bishop's got to be over here to guard. Well, then I just do this, I guess, and try and get rid of one, get rid of the other, but it's going to be really tough to progress, isn't it? I don't see how I do it. I don't see how I force black into anything because of this bishop without risking everything. No, I can't. I think it's a draw. Here just allows this. So can I risk this? As soon as I wander off, you've got bishop here. And then I'm committed. I don't think I've got anything but a draw here. Okay, now can I come round this way? Is that feasible? Because there's no easy way in, is there? Let's go here and threaten to come up. I guess you just go here. So there's not really anything I can do, and if I put the pawn in a dark square, it's a permanent forever target. Like I say, I can do this and give up the pawn. And then just plant this pawn and leave it there. Actually, that's probably sensible, and there's no other way to make progress, so I'm going to do that. Then I'll just plant this pawn here, and then something has to defend it forever. Actually, maybe go here first. As long as I've got my bishop to guard them. But I could do this, and then you've got to defend. So let's go here. Just leave the bishop here, and your bishop or king, one of them has got to stay here to defend, and I'll try and run the other side. But it's got rid of that outside risk now. So now I'll go here so they're permanently taken care of. So I need 3 moves to get here, 4 to get in. So we're going to start the run now. I could even go here and trade this pawn. I say one of them has got to stay here to stop this, or I can just start marching. Okay. So can you stop me here and here at the same time? I think you can. I think you can, that's the problem, isn't it? Let's go here anywhere. That's it, because I can't be in 2 places at once, that's the problem. Well, actually, there is a risk that the black king could get in. Actually, I might have blundered there. I need to come here and trade these off, because the black king can actually get in. I have to be careful that I don't lose this. So I'm going to go here and just trade these. It takes the risk away of losing, even if I can't win. It takes the risk away of losing it, unless obviously one of us gets silly and gets flagged somehow. Then I'm going to try and do this and trade this one if I can. Might not be able to. King here, I'll just step up. Okay, so let's just step up. I'm happy to do this and trade these off. Okay, now we can. So now can we get our king round and try and push the pawn? That's what we're going to aim for. I don't think we can. I don't think we can, but let's find out. We'll have a go. Yeah, just going to shepherd me. There's no way through, is there? There's no way to make progress. Here, the bishop doesn't have to take. Here, here, here. Yeah, it's just a draw, isn't it? We'll have to repeat. It's just a draw. Well done. I don't think I was ever actually winning that, but let's find out what the engine says. 69 moves we've played for that game there. So we'll just see what it says. Were we actually better? I suspect it was probably, a theoretical draw. Yeah, it's flatline level there, so there isn't actually anything I could have done here, but I was better here. +2 better. So I'm +2 better in this position, and I've made a mistake. Probably giving up these pawns. That was a mistake, I guess. But whether it's actually winning is another matter. That's basically about all I was. I was +2 better than it's just flatline level endgame. 92% accuracy from each of us. We've got them couple of blunders because we're trying to press and trying to create ways to win. So, what was it? So, a blunder. King to e4 was a blunder. I should have just shuffled the bishop up, but again, you're just going to do what you did anyway. Apparently, it's a blunder. And then the g5 idea, just to try and simplify it, but I'm still only +2, so it was really just a draw. It's completely flatline level after that, so well done.